Chris, start us up.
Welcome to podcast 17. Dave, what is today's subject matter
I got two questions for you.
for me?
Yes.
Personal questions?
No, not really.
Oh, okay,
What
good.
do you what do you call a cow with three legs?
Uh, Tripod? I don't know.
No, not a tripod. Lean beef.
Lean beef. Nice.
Lean beef.
Nice.
I thought that was hilarious.
That is good.
Second question.
Another joke.
No, just a direct question.
What you got there? Water?
I do have water. How many sponsorships do you have?
I have three.
You have three?
Yeah.
What are they?
Me, myself, and I.
Okay. How many do you really have? One, right?
No, I don't have any real sponsors. I have some partnerships, but I don't have any sponsors.
Okay. Well, today's podcast, we're going to cover this because I actually have a lot of experience with it. Going back to like 8 years ago.
I think people put too much emphasis on it.
Yeah, I get it. Because I kind of did that too when I first started out because I had no clue what to do, and I thought that was like the thing to do. Because it's cool.
It
Hey,
is it is cool. I mean, you
yeah.
get something in exchange for something, I mean, that's the whole idea, but it doesn't
hmm
always work that way. Go ahead.
Yeah, and there's a difference that I want to talk about too is when people say they're sponsored by
Right.
or they're partnered with or whatever it is. And to me, when you're sponsored by a company, you're being paid.
Correct.
That it's a financial and monetary uh that
In addition to anything
yeah,
else,
right.
you're paid.
Yeah, you're paid. And usually, you have a contract that you sign where that company wants you to do a certain amount of things per year. You might have to be involved with different whatever it is, trade shows they want you to attend or make different videos for them or whatever it is, whether it's a TV show or a YouTube channel, or like just like a social media thing. When I started out on YouTube, probably like 8 years ago, like I said, I thought that was the cool thing to do,
Hmm.
and I was going out, and I wasn't just going for like any junk product. I was like finding like good stuff, and I'm like sending them emails. And back then, it was really easy to get like partners or whatever you want to call them.
Right.
It was easy.
Huh.
But what happened was a lot of the companies got burned out and ripped off because they would just accept that person's agreement, and these companies were just giving out products, and then you had
Mhm.
all these pro staffs, field staffs, and all these people.
Yeah.
They weren't doing anything, so the company was sending these guys product and they weren't getting any return.
Yeah.
So when a product is giving you, just say free product, they need to see a return in their investment,
Yes.
ROI.
ROI.
So let's say they give you $500 worth of product. Well, if they're not getting $500 back in
Yeah.
return
Yeah,
plus,
you need to drum up enough interest in some people that
hmm
they're gonna go purchase a product.
yeah,
You know, you need to produce about 500 bucks worth.
right, plus some.
Hmm.
The more you do,
Yep.
hopefully that company recognizes that and they,
Right.
you know, the things improve over time. But then I was like, okay, well, I'm getting these companies, and there was some times where I got paid. Um, but it came to a point like, eh, like for what? What do you need all of these sponsors for?
Right.
For what? TV shows have them because a lot of people don't realize that, but the sponsorships pay for the TV show. You have to pay to be on TV.
Hmm.
Um, Years ago, it was like it ain't cheap. It's like 60 grand, 100
Right.
grand to be on like 12 episodes. Well, the the people are getting paid for that, and they'll market whatever they can, in order to pay for that TV show because that's
Right.
their primary focus is to be on TV.
Yep.
Um, So I got to a certain point of that, and I started kind of like, okay, well, which ones do I really need or want? Which one's important? Which one's not? So I kind of got away from a lot of that, and I kind of had like a couple main focuses. And I was sponsored by a trail camera company years ago, and I built that company up. I mean, they were they had good products. The trail cameras were good, and like they recognized the sales. Like people were calling them saying, "Hey, I saw like Day's video," and so they were seeing the return. But then all of a sudden, the cameras turned to junk,
Yeah.
and you remember all this.
Yes.
And I just I got tired of the company not offering customer service, because then the people were like coming at me like, "Hey, you recommended this camera, but
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
doesn't work and it's junk." You
I've
remember all
called
this?
I called for weeks and I can't get
Yeah.
through. No one answers my calls.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I finally just told them like, "Hey, I'm done. I don't want to work with your company anymore. Like, if you're not going to make it better or recognize that there's a problem, I'm not going to promote it." You know.
Mhm.
And I actually made a video about it on YouTube, and I just basically said I'm stepping away from the company, for this, and this, and this, and the company tried to come after me for saying I was saying bad things about them, which I didn't. I just basically said I'm stepping away,
Right.
and that was it.
Right.
So I got away from that, and so basically now I only work with two companies,
Yeah.
and I can say that I'm not sponsored. I'm not getting paid. It's just a friendly, you know, handshake with the company, and
Right.
we work with them, and that's Furminator and Domain Seed,
Yeah.
because my primary focus is food plots.
Food plots. Yep.
That's what I do. That's what you do. That's what we teach. That's what all of
Yep.
our YouTube videos are about.
Hmm.
So working with a company that's direct with what you're doing, like what do you need anything else for?
Right.
Obviously, if you're if it's a trail camera or a certain product you're going to use, obviously if they're giving it to you free, you're going to save money.
Yep.
You don't have to buy it yourself. But for what? What are you getting out of it?
Right. And I uh I have some certain instances like
Hmm.
of course I don't have a huge channel and people aren't knocking down my doors, but
Hmm.
I do send emails out now and then to companies that I would like to use their products,
Yeah.
and in exchange I offer some measly advertising for them. And some of the companies went for it, and I do my best to represent them, and give the good word, but it's stuff that I use, of course.
Well, you work
Um,
with Domain.
yeah, I do. I work with Domain, and I have some of their apparel on here,
It's
but
what you do.
it's what I do. It's what I push. They like what you and I do for them. They appreciate us. They take care of us. We are not paid.
Famous.
We're not. we make. Hey, I'm hoping we're making them famous.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, because they do take care of us in a way that saves us a little money, and it makes them money in the long run.
Well, it saves
You
us
know.
money because we're teaching it on YouTube, and a lot of people don't realize is that you're spending money to make a video.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're the time and effort, the extra
Effort.
time.
Pay
How
for
much time and
fuel.
effort did we put in at the farm trying to record? Like,
Gosh.
our day would be extended by hours because we
Yes.
had to take the time to film.
Yes. And now it's hard because I'm doing a lot of stuff solo because we're
Me too.
so far apart
Mhm.
from each other, and doing stuff solo. You have to set up the camera and then go jump
Mhm.
on the tractor, make a few laps, come
Yeah.
back, shut everything off, or use a remote for a camera. Or
Mhm.
you got to think ahead what you're gonna do to make
Well,
that video.
that camera costs money, that remote costs money. the camera that you're using to make the video, the action camera, the gas, the fertilizer. It's not like you're getting free fertilizer and free
Right.
lime and
No.
and all this stuff.
Domains, yeah, they're giving us the seed. I mean, and in return, we're like you said, we're on here teaching it, and we're showing it in our videos and sharing with the public what we like about their seed.
Hmm.
I mean, like we said in one of the other podcasts, are they the best seed company? I don't know, but we like their blends, and I've never had a bad product from them yet, like something that
No.
failed.
Hmm.
I never had anything fail. So, I mean, their jugs are clear. There's nothing to hide. There's a seed tag on it. Tells you how much uh, coatings on it. That's the big thing. I had some guy always attacking me about how much coating was on their seed. Well,
Hmm.
show me a seed company that doesn't have coating on their seeds.
Right.
Um, I mean, there is some pure live seeds you can buy that aren't coated. If that's what you want to use, go ahead. That's fine. But we work with Domain, and some of their seeds are covered. And the guy was always, bashing me about it. And I'm like,
Hmm.
dude, what do you want me to tell you? you know,
You triggered them.
I did. But anyhow, getting back to the people,
Hmm.
uh, I work at one company that I'm actually under contract with, and if they
Here we
don't,
go.
if they, I'm bitter. I'm bitter right here. If they don't ante up pretty soon, I've signed 2 contracts. This year, I will be signing a 3rd contract. And usually, when you have a partnership, there's an exchange.
Hmm.
I'm doing my portion of the work. They have not given me one thing. I haven't asked for anything specific. I did tell the marketing man last year, hey, when are you going to come through with this stuff that you promised me? And he said, we will work something out. Well, then he since got a promotion and someone else took over, and I still have not received anything from them. Now, I am not some great marketer, and I'm not putting a post out every day about their product or whatever. But come hunting season, I use their products, and I use them in my videos, and that's what you're supposed to be doing. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
uh, like I said, I am no big giant promoter. I'm not a television show. Um, I had a company that I approached for clothing and wrote them a big long email. They wrote me a big long email back accepting me. They was going to put me on a pro staff situation, and they was going to give me a discount, right? Well, the discount that they offered me was less than what they offer the public every month.
Hmm.
Every month they have a sale, okay? And they offer the public a 20% discount, and they were offering me 15 to be pro staff.
Yeah.
Now, if that's not a slap in the face, I don't know what is. And
Hmm.
basically, when I called the person back and talked to them about it and expressed my concern about that, they basically told me that it's a popularity contest and I wasn't big enough. And, they work with television shows and stuff. The person was kind of bragging about it. And I was like, well, you know, you got to give some people a break. I mean, you don't become popular overnight and have a television show and get free clothing. You
You're
know,
triggered. You were triggered.
I was, and I talked to the person, and I told them, I'm not interested now in your product because of that. I own some of their product. I use some of their product,
It's good
but
product, isn't it?
it is a decent product, and there's some very good TV personalities that use their product, and I actually respect some of the people that use it. And the whole situation is it's a good product. I will still use it on my own. I bought it. They didn't give it to me. You know what I'm saying? And they can take that 15% and give it to some other person that's blind, I guess.
So what they do with that is because that's a lot of they like when you see like somebody says, "Oh, I'm field staff for this company or pro staff," they're getting like a 20% discount.
Right.
What that does to the company is it basically they're still making money.
Oh yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
it's their cost. Not
Yeah,
even,
right.
they're still
It,
making a couple bucks, but
you might be saving like shipping costs. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
By the 20%.
you're cutting a little bit of tax off or something.
It's a way for the company to sell the product to you
Yep.
for free advertisement so that
Yep.
you're making the company money
Yep.
and but and you're still having to buy the product. So
Yeah.
I used to get a lot of that and
Why you gonna buy a product and then
if you
promote it?
right I used to think that way because that how I started out. I was like people were offering me like I said back then it was easy. Like I was getting bombarded with emails, "Hey, market my product." And I'm like, "Oh, wow, 20% off." Like I'm excited, you know?
Yeah.
But then it's like, "Okay, I'm not buying your product and promoting it at the same it doesn't even make
No.
sense."
No, I sent an email to a scent company, okay, a scent elimination company, and, they fired an email right back. "Heck yeah, man, let's put you on." And I was like, "Well, we need to talk about this first. What are we gonna do here?" And
Mhm.
their gimmick, and it's definitely a gimmick. You sent them X amount of money, and then they signed you up. They turn around and send you a gift card back with the money amount that you sent them.
Mhm.
So all they're doing is putting it on a card and sending it back and telling you, "Okay, now buy our product."
Right.
So you still bought it.
Yeah.
And in return, what comes with the card? They send you a hat and a t-shirt, probably from Bangladesh, and it might have
Mhm.
cost them 12 bucks.
Yep.
So now you're pro staff, you got a $12 t-shirt and hat,
Mhm.
and you're buying $100 worth of product
Yeah.
and you're promoting them.
Yep.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, I yeah, there's
It
a lot
doesn't
of
make sense. But it's funny when you look on Instagram or Facebook and you look at their description and they're like pro staff for this, pro staff for that, pro staff,
mhm.
pro staff, pro staff, and I'm like, really, what are you getting out of this?
Yeah. Well,
I don't
I
need the notoriety
yeah,
from some company name
right.
that I'm
The whole
associated with.
yep. The whole thing is too is like, the guys that's being like I don't necessarily want to be paid because one, I have a job. Like I don't
Right,
need to be paid.
right.
I have multiple jobs that I make my money on. Two is when you start getting paid and you're trying to teach somebody, you start losing the
The,
credibility,
the
you know,
zeal,
to your viewers. It's like, oh well, he's just promoting it because he's getting paid.
right?
I don't need to get paid by that. Three is your butt. Like I busted my butt for companies, and all you're doing is making them rich.
Yeah.
You're selling their product, you're making them rich, and
Well, my problem with them was you had to meet their criteria.
well, yeah, it's
You
a lot
had
of
to you
yeah.
had to jump through hoops. You had to do this many posts a
Mhm.
month, and you had to share the video of the week, and you know you got to be posting pictures on your social media. I don't want to be obligated to do anything.
Yeah, like a lot of them.
I want to do this because I enjoy the product, I like
Yeah.
the product, and I'm going to stand behind them and do it because they're good
Mhm.
and they treat me well. That's what I like about Domain.
Yeah.
you know they treat us well. I mean,
Mhm. Well, you just do your thing.
yeah,
they
they
don't
don't bug you.
no, they
They
just
don't bug you, but they see your videos.
yeah, they know you're gonna
And
do it.
Joe Schmo from the Carolinas said, "Hey, I seen Chris's video and I want to try this domain stuff. I liked what I
Mhm.
saw." And that gets back to them,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, definitely.
When they go live on their Beers and Bucks program, a lot of them people in that chat, not a lot of them, but a couple of them in the chat, I've talked to personally, and they've asked me questions and I've helped them.
Mhm.
and they've had success, not because of me, but it's good seed, and they listen to good advice. But they did the work. They put the work in. They did what was expected, and they had nice plots. And
Mhm.
they find out for themselves the domain's legit.
Yeah.
So they jump on the domain bandwagon,
Mhm.
and that gets back to the guys at domain. Like, hey, Chris helped these people out, and now they're spreading the word on
Mike
their
and Tim.
yeah, they're they're seeing, that I helped this guy out, and now he's on Facebook all the time raving about domains. So I
Mhm.
mean, it's just like a big pyramid thing. It just grows, and
Yep.
I mean, it's just helping people out, man, word of mouth.
Yeah. Well, you know this because I sent it to you, but I'll get comments sometimes like, "Oh, you're just, you know, being paid for this. You'll take anything."
Oh yeah,
People just
it must be nice to do this. It
yeah.
must be nice.
Well, dude, I got an email right here. I still get emails from companies. They're like, "Hey, we like your YouTube videos. We'll pay you this or we'll give you this." Well, what email did I get last week? I
Oh,
sent it to you.
I don't even remember. I'm so
It,
busy.
it was from Deergrow.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I
Yeah,
have the email right there.
yeah,
They
that's
sent me
right.
an email and they wanted to sponsor me. It's right here of monetary value.
Yeah, but it's zero content. You don't use it.
I don't believe I wrote them back very friendly. I said thanks for reaching out. I said I said currently I do not believe in this product. It's not something I would use. I appreciate the offer. I'm gonna decline.
Right.
Some other person would probably be like, wow, I'm gonna take this sponsorship. I'm gonna get paid by
Right.
this, even if it's something that they don't believe in.
Yeah, I'm not.
You know, and
Yeah.
I know for a fact, okay, companies or TV shows are sponsored by a certain product because they're being paid to get the product. Those guys buy a different product on the side and use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
even believe in the product, but they're getting paid by it. So they take pictures in the tree stand.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've seen it. I was part of a TV show. One time I was on one episode of a TV show in Canada for bear hunting. I've seen these guys do that.
Yep.
They were in camp. They were taking all these videos of the product that they were sponsored by, but then when it actually time to hunt, they were using something completely different.
That's very common with arrows and broadheads and
Mhm.
even bows. I
Yep.
mean, that is very common.
Mhm.
Who was it? I can't remember who was telling me this. Was it you? That somebody went on a hunt, and the gun that they had a sticker on it with the name of the gun, and
Uh,
the guy peeled the sticker off,
I
and the
think yeah,
people got upset.
it was a CVA sticker.
Who
They
was it?
they put it I think it was a CVA sticker on the gun, but then they peeled it off. I can't remember.
Who
Might have
was
been you
telling me?
telling.
Who was telling me that?
Yeah, it might have been you telling me. I can't remember.
I can't remember who that was. My memory's horrible. But yeah, this guy wins a hunt, right? And he gets in the blind, and they're videoing him getting in the blind and all that, and he gets in the blind, and they get ready to start quieting and down and hunting, and they're checking the guns, and he sticks the gun up, and the guy photographing and video and stuff, he's like, where's that sticker at for the gun? He's like, I peeled it off. He's like, you can't do that. We're sponsored by them. You got to have that on there.
Mhm.
He's like, we ain't gonna hunt, and they had to go get a new sticker and slap it on the gun
Mhm.
so that this guy could be on his television show.
Well, I
Can't
mean,
remember.
I get it. You're being paid, and a lot of guys that's their living. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So they're making money off of it. So it's just another job. But for me, I have a job. I get paid. I'm fine. Like I don't need to get paid by a company, and I don't want to lose the credibility to
Well,
the
like,
viewers and audience because I have there's a lot of people that I interact with over the year. I mean, over the years through YouTube, and now I'm into this consulting the past couple of years, and I just don't want to be like, have all these sponsors and then I'm getting paid from. I just don't want that. It's too
Well,
much of a it's too much work. It's too much obligation. I don't
I
have
was just
time for
I
it.
was just gonna say I don't want to be obligated to have to mention something that I'm not really that crazy about. You know,
Hmm.
uh, yeah. I mean, I don't want to be locked into something like that.
Yeah.
I only want to use the stuff that I'm confident with
Yeah.
or that I could recommend. And
Hmm.
then two, you know, a lot of this stuff's conflict of interest. Like if you're watching a television show and it's, hey, this show's sponsored by these fine companies, and they got all these little emblems up on the screen. And if you noticed, a lot of them, like there's a deer mineral here, and then there's a block or something here. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, a lot of this stuff overlaps, and some of it's conflicting of interest.
Well, a lot of the companies, big
But
time
they
companies, they
but they
pulled back
take
a lot.
they
Yeah.
take it because they need the money for the shows.
Yeah. That's the whole thing is they need the money for the show.
You know,
A lot of the companies too pulled back a lot too. Big like the big name brand companies, they used to sponsor. They paid big dollars to the TV guys, and over the years they've pulled back a lot because TV's kind of dying. It's not as popular as it once was, so everybody's transitioning to YouTube now, and the company's got money, like they have money to give it to you, but if somebody is looking to do it and you feel like you're worth it, don't be cocky about it, but like if you're bringing that company in money and you're bringing them a value, that company needs to be fair, and it needs to be an even
yeah,
playing field. They need to treat you right if you're making them, because why would you want to make, it's just like anybody else that works for a company. You have a boss, you're working for a company, you're making them rich.
yeah,
You're doing your job, you're making them rich. So it needs to be an even playing field. They need to take care of you, you need to take care of them.
yes. I can't think of a better way to say that. I mean, like I said, I'm in that situation. Like I said, with the third contract coming up, and if something's not going to happen when I open my mouth, they're either going to get rid of me or I'm going to quit. So one or the other.
You're gonna be triggered.
Eh, I mean, the product that I have that I'm talking about, I've bought or had all of it before I started with them
You
and
were using
signing.
it. You were using it for years.
Yeah, I was using it before I ever signed on with them, and I was actually advertising for them, and they didn't have a clue who I was
Yeah.
until I walked into the Harrisburg show up to the booth and met the owner and told him, "Hey, look, I use your product here," and I had got my backpack out, and I'm like, "Look at all the stuff I have of yours. I use this stuff. I've been advertising for you, hoping that you might recognize me. That's the hope. I
Mhm.
mean, you do a little bit for them. You're hoping that they'll recognize you and maybe reach out to you,
Yeah.
and that hadn't happened. So I just made it known while I was there, and he's like, "Wow, I didn't realize that." So he said, "I'm going to hook you up with this brand manager dude, and you guys are going to have a phone conversation." And he's like, "I'd like to do something for you." Well, that was coming from the owner. Well, the ball got dropped when it got handed over to the brand manager people. So now I'm signing contracts and I haven't received a penny. So, I mean, I'm not looking for sponsorship, but I mean, a penny wise of anything, not even a hat or a t shirt.
Right.
That's ridiculous going on a third year with them,
Mhm.
you know? I mean, so, but I'm still gonna do it until, like I said, contract signing time this year coming. And I'm going to just say, hey, why am I signing this contract? What are we exchanging?
Mhm.
If this is a partnership, what's your half?
Yeah.
Because I'm doing my half.
Mhm.
So that
Well,
that's how I'm going to sales pitch it.
yeah. I mean, you remember this because I was dying, but I was working with Sad Daddy Hunting Blinds,
Hmm, hmm.
and the trade off, it was just to get the blind and then promote them. I drove all the way to Alabama.
Yeah,
This trip about killed me. It was
I think I texted you for about 6 or 7 of those hours of driving.
yeah, to keep me awake.
It's just to keep you awake.
That was brutal. Far drive,
You was making me tired just texting you.
yep, trailering that thing back from Alabama.
Oh,
Um,
I can't drive that long.
and then, and then we set it up, and that was a fun blind.
That was a
It was
nice blind.
it's a good company. Joey
Yes.
Bruce, everything. I just don't really have a use for it anymore. But it's a good company and all that. But there's been companies over the years, but I just I had a uh last year on the new farm. I had this company reach out to me, and they made their I guess their primary focus was like ground blind stuff. Like they
Mm,
had like the ghillie blinds.
okay.
They kind of had like an imitation. You've seen like the hay bale blinds and stuff.
Yeah.
Looks
Mhm.
like a bale of hay.
Yeah.
They had those and everything. And this guy, he was like, whatever you want, we'll send it to you. Right. So I put this order in, and it was for like two ghillie blinds, two hay bale blinds, like four different types of ground blinds. And this was like in the summer. And I was like, I just told him, like we talked on the phone and everything. I said, look, if we're gonna do this, you're gonna have to send me something, and I'm gonna check it out, make sure it's good quality or whatever. He's like, yeah, no problem. Well, weeks went by, and he never sent me nothing, right? So I emailed him back, and like, yeah, we're busy. I'm like, well, not being rude or anything, but like hunting season's getting ready to start. I don't want to get the stuff and then all of a sudden interrupt my hunting season trying to set this stuff up. So if you're not going to send it, like, let's just wait till next year.
Yeah.
So he never sent it.
Huh.
Never sent nothing, right? He emails me about, I guess, in like December. It says, "Hey, we're ready to send it to you." And I was like, "I don't like what happened to last summer, you know?" And I said, "Look, I just want to decline, the offer now because
Yeah.
it's just I don't, you know."
Not necessary at this point.
Right. 2 months later, they went out of business.
Oh my.
I just found out they went out of business.
Oh my. Hmm.
So there's all kinds of companies out there. A lot of them are good, but there are some in there that, I mean, they're crooks. They'll scam you. They'll try to use you to make them money and make them
Yeah.
rich. You just have to be careful because I do get some questions here and there where like, hey, I want to be, how do you become a pro staff? And the terminology of pro staff, and I just don't like nowadays. I just don't want to deal with it. Like I
That
don't.
stands for promotional staff.
Yeah, it's
It's not a glamorous thing.
yeah, it's there's a lot of work
You're
that goes.
promoting them
Yeah, uh,
basically for free.
yeah. I mean, I don't have the time like I see guys on social media where it's like boom, boom, like 4 or 5 times a day of different products. And
Yes.
there's this there's this uh there's this person on Instagram, right? And I've known him for a long time. And he takes a photo of something, and you know how like on Instagram you can tag, like if you click the picture, like the tag comes up.
Yep.
It's like 20 different companies
Yeah.
on one picture.
Right.
And it's just all these promote like pro staff this, pro staff. I'm like, dude, I'm tired thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like it's just, and if somebody wants to do that, it's fine. But like I'm just trying to give a broad situation here where if somebody's getting into it, it can be done. You can get paid. Like
Yeah.
I've been there, done that. It's just not for me anymore. I want to work with a very minimal amount of companies. And like I said, it's domain seed and Furminator. Why Furminator? Yes, it's an expensive piece of equipment, but the thing is a tank.
Yeah.
And William.
Yep.
We just saw William at the Great American Outdoor Show.
Yes, we did.
He's an awesome dude, super nice guy,
He
super
is.
chill.
He is
He'll
chill.
he'll he'll do anything for you. Um, and the Furminator is a tank.
Yeah, for sure.
As me and you tried to load it on the trailer
It's heavy.
um, multiple times, it
880 pounds for the
880
ATV model.
pounds. It's American made. Uh, I think it's American made. Yeah, it is. I
Oh
think it is
yeah,
American
sure.
made. But I mean, it's the best. The
Yeah.
thing is, it's built like a tank, and that's why, you know,
Yeah.
and that's I'm happy with that. I don't get paid by William. I don't get paid by Firmament. I don't get paid by Domain. It's an even exchange. They appreciate what you do. They don't ask for nothing. They just know you're going to do it.
Yep. Yep. And that's the main thing. I'm going to use things that I want to use. I'm going to mention them because I like them, or because I'm doing them. But like you were saying before, I've got this fella that constantly is posting pictures of a bow in like a certain site for a bow. And I, don't get me wrong, he does great photography. I mean, it looks cool, but he posts at least two pictures every day.
Hmm.
And it's just to the point where it's like, yeah, there's another one, there's another one. You just scroll right by it because you're so tired of seeing it. And I think some people get like that with me in a way, because sometimes these podcasts, like people that I went to high school with or something, if they're on my Facebook page and they'll be like, oh, there's another podcast, they just scroll right by it because they're not interested in hunting. They're from the city,
Yeah.
and they don't hunt. And they're like, oh, there's that crazy Chris, he's hunting again, or whatever. And it just depends on what you're into. But going back to what I'm saying with this guy is he takes wonderful pictures. They're great pictures. He's promoting the company, but I don't know what he's getting from it. I have no
Hmm.
idea. But the thing is, what I'm getting at is he doesn't like put out videos using the video, using the products or anything. All he does is snapshots and tags the company.
Hmm.
That's probably real boring to them after a while.
Yeah.
Receiving two pictures tagged every day with them in it,
Yep.
you know. And the thing is, it's like 10 pictures that he puts on all month long. Like every third day, it's the same picture as 3 days ago.
Hmm.
You know, and it's boring. It's
Yeah.
just boring.
Yeah.
But he's promotional staff.
I ain't got time for that.
No, ain't got time for that.
Ain't got time for that. You
Take
know what
us
else?
out.
You know what else I ain't got time for?
This podcast. Take
Any
us out.
more? Any more minutes on this podcast? All right, guys. Well,
Wrap it up.
thanks for listening to us ramble here. A little bit longer of a podcast than normal, but appreciate you listening. Number 17,
Yes, sir.
rolling along. Chris's channel. You can watch the video.
Yep.
Appreciate the views on Spotify and Apple. Man, they're building up.
Yeah, stuff's
So
taking off.
see you guys
Appreciate you folks. Do some subscribing. See you on the next one.
later, Gator.
Later.